right, in this video, I'm going to show you how to synchronize video really easily in Premiere Pro. So first thing I need to do is import my video. I'm going to use these students' Luke Ortner video. They have audio plus they have video. The audio is kind of an extra little step, but I'll show you that at the end. The video is really what we're here about. So I'm going to select both video clips that they're using. I'm going to start with a cam because that makes sense. This is also why it's really important to name things correctly, because once you start getting it in your overall project here, it can get really confusing. Now you could click here and see the previews for it, but this shows icons so you know the difference. Just really quickly, the green means it's only audio. If you see purple and green, that purple is like a little film strip. That means it is video and audio. So when I drag that video and audio in, I get a couple things here. Number one, it has turned it now into a sequence. That's what this icon is. If it's confusing to you to have the same name as your sequence and your video, you can always right click your sequence and say rename and call it something just like Luke Ortner interview 2025. Okay. And that way the sequence gets renamed up here. And if that's less confusing, that's great. Now here we have a good video clip. He's clipping, and that's what this audio is going to help us with. But you know he's clipping because
mentally ready and focused.
It's pushing all the way up to here, and he sounds really staticky. Now, we could always try to adjust that here, but notice you can tell it's clipped when you see that it's a flat top all the way across, because what you're looking for are really good peaks and valleys, and you don't see that here. Just as an example, and again, I'll show you how to use this in a minute. This is an example of good audio where you get a whole bunch of peaks and valleys. And when I turn it up, I can really get a better sense for those. It clips only when you get to about there, but I have a much better looking audio track. But again, we'll talk about synchronizing that later to fix this bad audio. All right, now one thing that might be happening for you is you might see this up here, this little blue progress circle. That's creating your peak files. And again, those peak files are literally your audio peaks and valleys here. And that can slow things down. So sometimes you just need to like let this happen. If you're really impatient, you could always say no to this. But I don't really recommend saying no to this because these are very helpful down the road. This doesn't take too long. You might just have to step back, let it load, and then start editing. Once you do it once, it will be saved in that project going forward. So that's sometimes if it's feeling slow, look up here and see if this is running, but you can let that run. My computer's fast enough that I can kind of move past that. So we'll do that right now. All right, so I have the Luke A cam. I'm going to do the Luke B cam here. And notice these two are smaller, so this presents kind of a complication, right? If I were just to try to put this right at the beginning, hoping that the students push the buttons at the exact same time, it's not going to be quite right. So let's listen to it. It's going to be pretty painful.
Could you tell us your name and what sport you do?
My name is Luke Ortner.
So you can see he's listening in the video, but he is talking in the other video. So clearly this is not synchronized. If I want to see what he's doing in the other one. Okay, that one's clearly synchronized. This one clearly isn't. So what we need to do is synchronize. So here's how you do it. This is what you've been waiting for. You left click and select both layers. Then you right click and you look for synchronize. Now, the most important thing is you don't say clip start or clip end because we know that that just didn't work. Time code is really complex. We're not going to worry about that. So we're only going to worry about audio track channel. So we're going to say we want to synchronize with this channel, which is channel 1. And we're going to say, okay. We're going to let the computer do its thing. And because this had pretty clear audio, it was really easy. So now if we test it out,
What grade are you?
I'm currently a junior in high school.
You repeat the question to
Oh
us.
shit, above it.
No, you're good. Okay. Can you tell us your name, sport, and then grade?
My name is Luke Ortner, and I'm a junior.
cool. So it's synced, totally working well. What I always do at this point is if I know there's stuff I don't really need at the beginning here, he's just kind of looking, I can just cut it off like this and then delete that. Now, these are both synced, so we know they're synced. So you can do two things. You could just leave it and try to not accidentally move any of this. Or you could grab both, right click and say group. And then when you group them, they'll move together when you click it. And then when you go to edit, if you cut it, you can still just cut the single one, but that can be a helpful way to do that. So you can group it if you want. I don't actually tend to group it, so I'm going to ungroup it. I do want to show you, before I show you just like some cutting methods, I want to show you then what I would typically do. I would typically grab this good audio down here, and I know that good audio is going to be a lot longer, so I'm going to move this over here, and I'm going to sync all three of these. So I'm going to go to synchronize. I selected all three, synchronize. And again, I'm going to do it based on audio track 1. We know these two are synchronized, so they're not going to move. This green is going to move, so we're going to see that happen here. Okay, so there we go. So this went and found where the audio connects, which is right here. So I can delete, whoops, don't delete everything. I can delete all of this stuff at the beginning, because that was probably just like the mics being on the person and, you know, like any kind of talking before the recording actually happened. And then I'm going to delete right here, because I'm not sure where the interview ends, but I want all this audio. Now, what I'm going to do is mute. You can click this little M for mute. And that way I don't hear these two tracks. I want to just see if this is actually synced.
I'm a junior. Like,
There we go.
how do you want me to phrase it?
Okay, so notice there's no clipping. You don't hear that clipping at all. So now that I know that, I'm actually going to unlink these. So I'm clicking just one single audio and video. I'm going to right click and say unlink. Delete that. Click that. Right click. Unlink. Delete that. And then I'm going to move this up. As long as my magnet is on here, it's going to stay synced. But let's just check.
My name is Luke Ortner, and I'm a junior on the.
Okay, that looks great. He's actually a little quiet now. So what we could do is we could right click and say audio gain, add maybe, I think he was about 10 decibels short. So we're going to go like this. And notice he's still not clipping.
Jesuit football team.
And then let's see where he starts talking a little bit.
Thinking about all the things, all the work I put in all of a sudden.
Okay, so he's between like -6 and -12. He's a little bit quiet, so I'm going to raise him up just a tiny bit.
And just trying to prove.
And you might be asking, why am I moving this one versus right-clicking and doing gain? Gain is like the broader increase of volume. And either works. This one just has a limit. You can only go up, I think, 15 decibels. So sometimes you have to pull these up a little bit more. But here the audio sounds great. I really like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right-click and then link all three of these now. And now when I move these around, these are together forever, which is awesome. Okay, now we're going to talk a little bit about how I would go through and cut, because cutting is really important. Now, if you go to cut right now when they're linked, you're going to get those all cutting at the same time. And I don't really want that. So even though I just linked them, I'm going to unlink it. And then I'm going to go through here and I'm going to say, how do I want to start? So I'd probably want to start here where he's saying his name.
Oh.
Okay, somewhere.
My position in football.
Okay, let's imagine we want to start here. I want to be looking for times when I want that close up versus when I want him more wide.
How should I phrase this?
So some things you might be wanting to think about is like if he's talking about something really specific that you want to punch in on, that's when you might add in this transition.
I just say I'm a running back on the Jesuit football team.
Where then it jumps back to it. So basically you can cut this top layer. You can almost leave this whole bottom layer alone. And then from this top layer, you can just grab your ends of the video and push them back and forth. And it'll stay with the audio if you do that. Now, the one place where you'll have an issue is if you click on the video and you accidentally move it like the whole thing. Now it's not going to be synced.
And last year I got a glimpse.
So you got to be really careful that you don't move the audio clip. If you're trying to adjust it, either just cut it and delete it, and then that's fine. Or use that little red arrow at the edge of your clips, and that kind of like squeezes or stretches it, and then you'd be fine there as well. And that's it. There's a lot to just a simple thing like that, but just to give you kind of a sense of how to sync audio. I've done this with up to like 5 or 6 video tracks. That gets a little bit more complex, but the principles that I just showed you apply to all those.